Welcome back. Thanks for being here. It's Tuesday and the 16th, and that does officially put us over the halfway mark of July. I'm trying to laugh that off because, yes, it is indeed scary. We will be in August before you know it. We'll be in the 90s before the weekend, or right about that same time. Some tweaks to your forecast, and stormy, windy day possible for your Wednesday tomorrow. Our headlines tonight will include coverage of last night's Sagersville City Council meeting, a lot of business, but two primary discussions. One over Sunday alcohol sales, which was approved in a first reading. However, last night, members of the community were present to try to persuade the city council to not go forward with that. Also, speed bumps, bit of a bumpy discussion, if you will. Some in favor, some not throughout the city area. We'll share those discussions with you. A Sagersville woman arrested earlier this afternoon in Paintsville after Paintsville police say she jumped into a vehicle and nearly struck one officer without a driver's license. Some other serious details. We'll get to that headline actually first and foremost in just a few seconds. Just a little bit of a heads up. The Montgomery County Board of Education meeting this evening, the Montgomery County Fiscal Court meeting this evening. I'll have cameras at both of those meetings. I myself have two other meetings to attend and not film. So taping the program just a bit early, but a full program for news this evening, just to let you know those stories being worked on and coming up as soon as tomorrow, as with a host of other news and information. So before we go to our first commercial break and come back to city council coverage from last night, the Paintsville Police Department arrested the following woman. Still the exact identity and circumstances of the man that was with her unknown, but I do have arrest citations from the Paintsville Police Department that indicate that this woman did not have a driver's license and knew as such, but jumped behind the wheel of a vehicle parked in the fire lane at the Paintsville Walmart, nearly striking at least one officer in doing so. Captain Holbrook with the Paintsville Police Department details that this afternoon, right around 2 o'clock or so, they responded to an incident at the Paintsville Walmart, and that's where they found 38-year-old Heather Rowe of Sagersville, who was said to be with another man, we believe from Sagersville. I don't have the details on he or his whereabouts in this as it pertains to this particular incident. But when the Paintsville police arrived, they found an SUV sitting in the fire lane, and they found Rowe as well with that SUV. They ran her ID, and it came back as that, just an ID with no valid driver's license. And in telling Rowe that the vehicle had to be moved or be towed, she started to complain and argue with the police because she couldn't move it because she didn't have a valid driver's license. And that's when the police say that Rowe jumped in one of the officer's cruisers belonging to Chief Rowe and tried to flee the scene, almost running over Chief Rowe in the process. With Captain Holbrook saying that he jumped in the Chief's cruiser and was able to block that SUV, jumping out of the cruiser and then running towards the vehicle that she had fled in. She got out and then tried to get back in, and he deployed his taser, and she still refused to comply or give her hands. She finally was taken into custody and arrested. The vehicle had expired tags, and there was no insurance on the vehicle as well. And so far, Rowe has been charged with no driver's license, fleeing or evading police in the first degree, wanton endangerment in the first degree, and resisting arrest. With that, city council coverage is next. Right after these messages, be sure and let these folks know you're watching every chance you get. If you haven't stopped by the seasonal shop lately, you're missing out. They've got new arrivals weekly and great deals every day, and the entire store has a fresh new look. Summer's here, and the seasonal shop is ready for fun, sun, and the cutest clothes. They've got outfits for any special occasion you might have on your calendar or casual outfits for any day of the week. So come in and let them help you select the perfect outfit, and don't forget the jewelry. They've got a large selection of some of the most unique jewelry in the area, and they've got everything you need for your pool or beach days with bright, beautiful cover-ups and caftans, sunglasses, towels, and hats. And new patchwork Kentucky hats with a heart over Sagersville are the perfect way to keep the sun off your face. At Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop. Of course, you can always get guaranteed great deals this time of year on mowers and weed eaters and blowers, but right now at Parkway Gun and Pawn, they've also got an incredible selection of hand and power tools, guitars, and musical instruments just in, new and used, long and handguns, and ammunition and more, with no pawn limits and cash today on anything you want to sell or pawn. Parkway Gun and Pawn. At Sagersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance, or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Sagersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Sagersville National.
SSI and disability cases are harder to win these days. You need all the help you can get. If the government has turned you down, I will not. Many factors are considered when a claim is being processed, like your age, education, physical, and mental disabling conditions. When it comes time to winning your disability case, you should not face a federal judge alone. You need an attorney who is experienced, determined, hardworking, knowledgeable, and dedicated to helping you win benefits that you deserve. If you need help with your SSI or disability case, call me, Donald Wayne McFarland, and let me go to work for you.
Some other business and two main topics of discussion we'll cover tonight from last night's Sagersville City Council meeting: Sunday alcohol sales and speed bumps on city streets. In regards to Sunday alcohol sales, the city had already had a first reading for an amendment to an ordinance allowing Sunday alcohol sales after 3 o'clock. However, last night before the second reading, pleading not to go along with that decision was a local preacher, Wayne Mead, who was there to express his views, saying that he would rather have seen the question or item brought before the people and put on the ballot, understanding that the state does not require the city council to do so, but he would rather have seen the people make the decision than the council.
I wonder how much money's been spent rescuing people that wrecked, and we went to great expense to get them out of the ditches and take them to the hospitals and fly them to Lexington and different places. So if you're going to consider all the money, you got to consider that. That's a part of it too. But even that's not even my issue. The money's not even my issue. I think that if we would do a history study on the effects of alcohol in America, their broken homes, their broken hearts, the widows, the orphans. And then if you consider, and the reason we're discussing this on Sunday is because it's a church thing. Traditionally, Sunday has been considered a separate day because of the church. So if you do the research on the alcohol and its effects, do the research on the church and its effects, I don't hardly see how you could come down on the wrong side. I don't know why that you would find it acceptable to make a decision that is offensive to the church. I promise you this, when some mama's boys drug out of the ditch, they won't call one of you guys to come and hold the widow's hand or the mama's hand. They'll call somebody from the church.
Is that a threat?
Tom, let's just let me say.
I'm just saying that I've held the hands of widows that alcohol took their spouse. I've held the hands of mothers, daddies that alcohol took their spouse or their children.
Following Meade's remarks, Councilman Tex Holbrook asked the mayor and city's attorney if it was a question that could be put before the people and on the ballot, with Attorney Lovely saying this was merely an ordinance which usually does not go before a community vote.
Can it be put on the ballot? It can be, but we've already been voted with. I mean, what would you? Well, I mean, but for the city or whatever. Can that?
I'd have to look at how the process of that. I don't know. We've never done that, so I'm not sure what the process of. The city doesn't ever vote on ordinances on the ballot. Not that I've been there, not since I've been here 14 years. I've never had a city issue placed on the ballot and vote. Not saying it can't, saying I don't know. So this is an ordinance, and ordinances are adopted by the council.
Well, let me ask this then. Can we table it till you find out?
That's up to you all.
Then to see if, put it on the ballot to let the people decide?
That's up to you as the council to table it or not.
Well, I make a motion to table it to see if you can find out if you can put it on the ballot. Now, it's up to
I
somebody
can
else.
find out if we can. I mean, I can find out. I just don't know that answer off the top of my head.
That's what I'm saying.
We've never done it, never had it done.
Just wanting to table it.
Have a motion on the ballot, to table the amendment to see if it can be put on the ballot by text and subject over. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carried.
And that's the only thing we've ever put on ballot that I'm aware of is annexation. And
Well, I'm just
that
saying
was by
to give-
statute.
You
Okay.
know,
Well, I'm just telling you, that's the only thing
Yeah.
that I'm aware of that and that's by statute after the petitions and everything. So I don't know what the general rule is, but please stuff on that. Well, I'll ask the League of Cities to get an opinion. And
If we put this on the ballot, who pays the bill for this?
City would.
And after some more discussion, they voted to go ahead and table the issue, amending the ordinance for Sunday alcohol sales for now, giving Attorney Lovely some time to research with the League of Cities to see whether or not it was something that they could even put on a ballot for the community to vote on and decide. With the mayor sharing his thoughts, saying that he agreed 100% with Wayne Meade, but was looking at this from an economic standpoint on behalf of the city.
but we as councilmen work supposed to do what's best for the city and with the churches, and I agree with all that. For economic development, we've been trying to get Sayersville and McGoffin County in line with Pikeville, Lexington, and everybody else. We've always been behind. We were the first ones to go wet in this area. Now everybody's wet. Now everybody's got Sunday sales but us. People come to me and say, why can't you get a good restaurant in here? We don't have Sunday liquor sales. I mean, that's one of the things, and I know that's not a good reason. I'm just giving you the other side about economic development and how the cities and the towns grow. We cannot grow without more money unless we raise taxes. The city has never raised taxes. I'm not gonna raise your all's taxes. All I can do is cut services. So with more money, it makes my job easier. And I know I'm just giving my point of view as far as a mayor trying to run this city, is we don't get a lot of money. There's not a lot of grant money out there, so why can't you get grant? There's not a lot of grant money out there. What grant money there is we get. We have 24 police protection now for the first time well, now we come here, we have 24, and it's only because we had this ABC money. And only because we have new cars now, and if you look at our arrest reports, you'll see us arresting just as many as Paintsville or Prestonburg with drugs, alcohol, or anything else. This money goes to prevent a lot of the stuff that Wayne, I think you're talking about, is this money goes to that, to deter that type of stuff. And
Would this help enable us to hire another police officer?
it wouldn't hurt
Possibly.
because the police officers are getting more expensive. I know the sheriff's department's laid off, all theirs but two. And I can't afford, the city can't afford to put another on unless we generate a little bit more income. Because the only way I can keep good police officers is to give them overtime. They won't come just for 40 hours. They won't come for $10.50 or $12 to put their life on the line for that for 40 hours. So I have to give them overtime. Problem is, some of my police officers get hazardous retirement overtime, which is double what retirement is. So that puts it up in, like, some of them, if overtime costs the city $40 an hour.
Why is that?
Because we're required hazardous
Hazardous
retirement. They get hazardous retirement pay. We have to pay it in. Regular retirement, no big deal.
In some other business, the city went ahead and approved the second vote on the budget ordinance, which we've already covered, which the mayor did remind everyone included a 50-cent per hour raise for most employees within the city of Sayersville. The first raise in about 3 years, that 50 cents adding about another $25,000 to the city budget. The mayor explaining that those employees who are not getting the raise are employees who generally see more overtime. And Shepard also announced that he had signed a mutual agreement with EKCC, the Federal Corrections Facility in West Liberty, to allow the city to utilize 4 to 5 inmates at a time, minimum security inmates for work details in the city, with the city having to send an individual or individuals there to be trained to supervise those inmates while they are on work detail here in Sayersville, at a cost to the city of $4 per inmate per day each, this being a program that the school system and the county government can also utilize through the federal facility. And there was one other main discussion: who knew speed bumps would be such a rocky issue? Speed bumps or speed humps, what's the difference, who wants them, who doesn't, and what was the decision? That after this break. We've got 2 extra special treats for you right now for a limited time at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe. We've got all new milk chocolate chunk and white chunk macadamia cookies for a little extra treat after your meal. And back for a limited time, our famous loaded potato wedges. That's right, our fresh made potato wedges, cheese and bacon, and a side of sour cream if you want. For a limited time, only at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe. Just like that, we've jumped into the spring allergy season with all the buds and blooms, tree and grass pollen, mold, and all the nasal congestion, sneezing, itchy nose and eyes and throat that they cause. Don't get caught off guard. Protect yourself daily with a quick trip to Parkway Pharmacy for over-the-counter and prescription relief. And you can always log into parkwaypharmacy.com to have your prescriptions ready when you get there at Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville. Founded in 1974 on the idea that we all deserve and need the very best in medical services and patient-oriented care, but at reasonable prices we can afford, Big Sandy Healthcare and Hope Family Medical Center have also put together a team of professionals and providers, all at one location, all with you and your family in mind. With pharmacy, dental, lab and x-ray, pediatrics, adult medicine, behavioral health, and more. Come see us for anything at Hope Family Medical Center in Sayersville. From brakes, exhaust, suspension, fluid changes, to expert collision and auto body, to turning your 4x4 or diesel from mild to wild, get real auto maintenance, paint, and repair at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Sayersville. 349-8785. In part 2 of City Council coverage from last night, this discussion will center around speed bumps, a discussion that the council has also held on prior occasions, this time with some input from the audience and some residents of Dixie. Speed bumps has been an issue that the City Council has wrestled with to some degree because apparently not everyone is in favor of them. The idea of speed bumps, particularly in Dixie of Sayersville, even though the mayor says if they do them, they're going to do them on other side or slower streets, but the general idea of which apparently is not sitting well with some residents. With the mayor explaining that they have researched the idea and the legalities of which, and have learned that doing speed bumps in the fashion that the city used to, simply fashioning their own out of blacktop or cold patch, puts them at a bit of a liability should anyone's car get damaged or what have you. But that speed humps, which are approved by the state, a rubber material a little lower and a little wider, indemnify the city from any liability, but cost about $225 to $250 each. With several Sayersville and Dixie residents specifically in attendance last night in favor of installing them, one, Thomas Rao, a father of small children who lives at the bottom of the cement hill, as we will forever call it, who can't understand what the problem is with slowing down 2 seconds for a speed bump or spending $225 on one.
What's 2 seconds of stopping for a speed bump? You got 2 seconds or you got a child's life. I mean, what's $250 or a child's life?
And we need some signs put up, slow children playing throughout off of Dixie too. There used to be one in my yard, but then it, not long afterwards, sometime in the middle of the night, it disappeared because some people didn't want it there. But you know, we need, I mean, because they are, children's always played in Dixie and rode bicycles and stuff.
Well, they're not supposed to play in the road. They're not, but a kid's a kid.
A kid's a kid, that's exactly right. They ride bicycles around the block. They ride bicycles in town. What's the difference? And our kids and grandkids riding bicycles.
They don't ride on the road, they ride on the sidewalk.
Let's
We don't have a
We
sidewalk.
don't have all sidewalks in
Let's
Dixie.
get a little order here, let's not have John back and forth, let's just get the facts and we'll try to make a decision, that's the way we do it.
Okay.
We've always put speed bumps in Dixie, I have for the last 3 years, we put speed bumps in Cement Hill, because Manuel called and asked me. We put them in front of you, we put them on the other side of Kentucky Street, so we always put them. But now they're telling me we'll be liable if somebody tears a car up or runs over in a yard or tears.
So you're liable in the park is too.
The park is the parks board, that's not my liability.
That's not nothing to do with the city.
It's part of the city, but the park boards make that decision. The speed bumps there are there. They had I think a lawsuit on one of them because they wasn't painted yellow, about 3-4 years ago. Somebody got out and cradled their ankle.
They don't keep them from doing donuts over there every night at the park.
You know, we put the speed bumps in the park because the parks asked us to. But the parks is a jurisdiction over by the Parks Board, and we have to.
Do you think that would help a person though,
Now-
in slowing down
Now,
the speed
that's-
bump?
well, everybody has their type of speed, but now, Tommy, it's not.
Well,
gonna be-
yeah, you know it would,
That's exactly right.
but it's also helping to wear and tear on people's cars.
It's a speed bump. It's 2 seconds or a child's life.
All right, no more discussion from the audience right till now, okay, till I call on you, all right? We ain't gonna get into an argument over one way or the other. Let's just make decisions as grown-ups, and we'll do it, okay? So, the city, we can, I mean, I ain't worried about the price of keep speed humps. It's just if this council votes to put speed humps down, we put speed humps down. You know, if they vote to put, you know, we clean the signs up, we get the signs up, we put children to play. We've got someone, anybody that's asked for one of them, we've always put them up, so it's up to what the council wants to do about putting them. I don't have no problem putting them anywhere. I don't put 20 or 30. I got 6 grandkids, somebody runs over one of them, you're gonna be in trouble. Now, I'll just tell you that, my opinion. That's why I always put speed bumps for anybody asks for them. And I caught a lot of hell over it from a lot of people that like me, didn't like the speed bumps. So, in my opinion, you know, they've got their place, according to this thing here, they say they don't have their place. They say that people speed up till they get to them, then after they cross them, they speed up again. I just kind of disagree with that, but anyway.
What would be wrong with having it patrolled a little more?
We will patrol it, we will write tickets, but we
Ticket
can't
roll.
stand our 24/7.
They-
I mean, you can't
Ain't
stand
a
our
thing wrong with
24/7.
letting Pete make the decision when somebody calls in and wants a speed bump or wants a sign.
In the end, Councilman Paul Montgomery motioned to purchase the speed bumps and give Mayor Pete Shepard the discretion as to where they would be placed upon need or request by city residents. Still much more to come. Stay tuned. Your community calendar, obituaries, and weather forecast are all next. Getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to ConleyTire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by. For huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424.
Appalachian Wireless wants to know if you're tired of settling for a phone you didn't really want because it was more about the cost of the device rather than the phone you really wanted. Well, Appalachian Wireless has the solution, and it's called the Appalachian Advantage. With Advantage, every phone model is back on the table because you only have to pay the taxes on the device you really want. Many of our hottest smartphones are less than $50 up front, then a few extra dollars on your monthly bill. With Appalachian Advantage. Payment agreement is required. See store for complete details.
Your new IGA has fresh brewed coffees and delicious donuts made 7 days a week. Daily made breads piled high with any meat or cheese you can think of. And come and taste the salads, broccoli and cauliflower, cornbread, and their gourmet chicken salad made fresh right here. They've got fruit and vegetable and meat trays made with a little love, and celebrate anything with perfectly professionally made cakes. All fresh and ready for your next meal, party, or event. At your Sagersville IGA, where it's a new day, place, and way to shop. I got a birthday wish first and foremost to Hannah Nicole. Happy birthday to you. Love your mama and your papa with a lot of love. Birthday wishes to Hannah Cole this Tuesday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. I just got this in, going to the rest of the calendar, from the Montgomery County Head Start preschool program. They're looking for awesome kiddos. And if your child is going to be 3 or 4 by the 1st of August, well, they are eligible to be in the Head Start program. All you need to do is call 349-3488 for more information. They're always accepting applications for Head Start here in Montgomery County. And flag football sign-ups are still ongoing in Montgomery County for kids in grades K through 3rd. Saturday, 10 to noon at the Montgomery County High School lobby, and then next Friday, 6 to 8, also at the Montgomery County High School. That's players and cheerleaders and coaches are needed. If you'd like to help, you can come and sign up too. Baptize Me with Fire. The Danny Roy Ministries are going to be here in Montgomery County at the altar this Friday and Saturday at 7, and they're having a big free giveaway, food, clothing, and so much more this Saturday at 1. That's at the altar here in Montgomery County on West 460. A reminder, the Sagersville Grade School is having Camp Kindergarten this Friday from 10 to 1. Free lunch, a free shirt, Eagles t-shirt for all the kids where they can come and meet their teachers and classmates this Friday, 10 to 1 at SGS. And it's Commodity Day this Thursday at the Montgomery County Senior Citizen Center, 12:30 to 2:20. And Marlene says it's very important that you pick your box up because they're only allotted 216 each month. But because they had 30 boxes left, I guess the last Friday morning, and they spent 3 days trying to call people to pick those boxes up, God's Pantry wants to reduce the number of boxes that Magoffin County gets back to 185. So she says it's very important to come on the Thursday, every Thursday that they distribute, and get your commodity box, 12:30 till 2:20. And call me anytime you've got a calendar announcement, and that means birthdays and anniversaries too. Turning to tonight's obituaries, 82-year-old Mylodine McCarty of Laurel Branch passed away on the 14th, married to Lily McCarty, who survives, and he's also as well survived by his daughters Pamela Jean Bush, Pauline Marie Mullins, and Lisa K. Maynard. Visitation is tomorrow night after 6 and prior to Thursday morning's services at 11, all from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. And the Magoffin County Funeral Home also tells me tonight that 42-year-old Joe Allen of Sagersville, as we covered in yesterday's program, passed away on Monday here in Magoffin County. Joe is survived by his wife, Frida Williams Allen, and is the son of the late Raymond Allen and Maudie Wisecup. Arrangements are incomplete at this time, but to be announced soon by the Magoffin County Funeral Home. From there, it's time to talk about the weather, and tomorrow is going to be a much different weather day. Temperatures are going to knock off almost 10 degrees. Shower chances, a likelihood, almost a surety for tomorrow to the tune of 80%. And then from thereafter, we'll clear up, dry up, and heat up. Yeah, no major tweaks to be made, but certainly some updates and more shower chances tomorrow than what we had thought. A likelihood and a cooler daytime high tomorrow. Tonight, first and foremost, a 72-degree evening ahead, partly cloudy skies, and we can't rule out that 20% chance of some isolated showers before 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, showers and winds and the low 80s will rule for your Wednesday. 81 and 71, we're going to give 10 degrees between your high and low. Winds out of the southwest, 5 to 8 to 22 mile per hour gusts, and showers and storms are likely tomorrow. Certainly the shower part, storms possible, maybe a half-inch of rain, maybe even a bit more for some folks who get under any thunderstorms that develop. So Thursday looks to be windy, wet, and a bit on the cooler side. Short-lived thereafter, though. Partly sunny and 87 for your Thursday. A 30% chance of showers in the afternoon. Then the heat rolls in, still on cue for the end of your work week. A little patchy fog Friday morning. Otherwise, mostly sunny and hot. 91 degrees for the real temperature. 71 will drop 20 degrees off of that for Friday night's low under mostly clear skies. Saturday, we're still looking at 90, mostly sunny, still dry. 71 that night again, and partly cloudy. We don't have 3 or 4 days of 90 in a row, but look at this. Is there much of a difference? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, a steadfast 89. Warm, sunny degrees across the board. We will see shower chances work their way back into the picture and forecast Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday to the tune of 30%, but still mostly sunny and still mostly hot up into the upper 80s. And don't be surprised if we don't see a 90 or 91 over the course of Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, because that's going to be the trend for the next several days. Again, as I said at the top of the program, already a lot of news to work on for tomorrow, for which we hope to see you then. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.